Being a movie star brings great fame and fortune, but not immortality. Some actors have fallen prey to illness or accident at the height of their fame, like the following ones who died after filming big box office hits. Born in Leningrad to Russian figure skaters who fled the Soviet Union over religious and political oppression, Anton Yelchin was among Hollywood's brightest rising stars of the 2010s. After some small roles on TV, he landed in the regular cast of the Showtime drama Huff, and then starred as the title character in 2008's Charlie Bartlett, before winning the role of Chekhov in the 2009 Star Trek reboot. He would go on to play Chekhov on the big screen twice more, in 2013's Star Trek Into Darkness and 2016's Star Trek Beyond, which debuted with a $59 million opening weekend in North America. That occurred just a month after Yelchin's accidental and untimely death. In a bizarre turn of events, on June 19, 2016, the actor's SUV rolled down his driveway and then pinned in between a security fence and a brick mailbox. That resulted in death by blunt traumatic asphyxia. After he missed a planned rehearsal, friends went to his house where they discovered his body. He was only 27. Few performers have ever reached, or will ever reach, the career heights of Robin Williams. After breaking through in the 70s as a stand-up comedian, he became a TV star in Mork and Mindy and then a movie star in the 80s and beyond. He could play pretty much anybody, from a mournful college professor in Good Will Hunting to a film developer turned stalker in 1 Hour Photo. Sadly, Williams took his own life at the age of 63 in 2014, but he still had some work coming audiences' way. He'd completed shooting his scenes in 4 films, all of which would eventually see release. There was the holiday dramedy A Merry Friggin' Christmas, the indie drama Boulevard, and the sci-fi comedy Absolutely Anything, where he provided the voice of a dog. But his most high-profile posthumous film was Night at the Museum's Secret of the Tomb, the third and final installment in the trilogy in which museum exhibits come to life. Once more, Williams played American president and legendary adventurer Teddy Roosevelt. Like its predecessors, Secret of the Tomb was a big hit, raking in $353 million worldwide.
The key to happiness, to true happiness, is...
Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of the most acclaimed, prolific, and versatile actors of his generation. A 4-time Academy Award nominee, he won the prize for 2005's Capote. He also appeared in blockbusters like Mission Impossible 3, as well as critical darlings like The Talented Mr. Ripley and Punch Drunk Love. But there was a darker side to Hoffman off-screen. He struggled with substance abuse issues, and on February 2, 2014, he was discovered dead in his apartment. The cause was an accidental overdose of drugs, with heroin, cocaine, and amphetamines found in his system. At the time of his death, he'd nearly completed his filming schedule for Mockingjay Part 2, the final movie in the Hunger Games series. He played Plutarch Heavensbee, an underground revolutionary leader helping to overthrow a tyrannical government. He had 8 days of filming left, so director Francis Lawrence had to make adjustments, including using a stunt double when possible. Heath Ledger advanced up the Hollywood ladder rather quickly. His first big roles were love interest and action heroes in the likes of 10 Things I Hate About You and A Knight's Tale. By 2005, he had established himself as one of the best actors in Hollywood, particularly after his Oscar-nominated performance in Brokeback Mountain. That only increased his visibility and bankability, which were on full display when Christopher Nolan cast him as the Joker in The Dark Knight, the second installment in his epic Batman trilogy. Ledger completely committed himself to the role, resulting in one of the most unforgettable performances in comic book movie history.
You complete me.
That commitment unfortunately led to severe insomnia, which Ledger treated with prescription medication, and that may have led to his death. In January 2008, the 28-year-old actor was found unresponsive in his New York apartment. According to the New York City Medical Examiner, he died of acute intoxication by the combined effects of sleeping pills, painkillers, and anti-anxiety medications. About 6 months later, The Dark Knight was released and earned more than $530 million domestically, making it the highest-grossing film of 2008. Ledger's performance would go on to posthumously earn him the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, which his family accepted on his behalf. Richard Harris is considered the very face of a serious English actor, even though he was, in fact, Irish. Over the course of his career, he earned 2 Oscar nominations, one for 1963's This Sporting Life and another for 1990's The Field. He also won a Golden Globe for portraying King Arthur in the 1967 musical Camelot. He was one of the many luminaries of the performing arts who was cast in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first film in the Wizarding series. He provided the warmth and gravitas necessary to portray Albus Dumbledore, the long-bearded headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. He reprised the role for the second film, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, only to be replaced by Michael Gambon for the rest of the franchise. That was because on October 25, 2002, Harris passed away at the age of 72, following a 2-month battle with Hodgkin's disease. Chamber of Secrets hit theaters the following month and promptly earned $879 million worldwide. Despite a tragically short career, Bruce Lee broke a lot of ground in cinema. He opened doors for actors of Asian descent while also popularizing martial arts films, thanks to his unforgettable fight sequences. He was born in San Francisco, the son of a Chinese opera star father. As a child, he appeared in about 20 Chinese films while also studying dance and kung fu. After opening a martial arts school in Seattle, he decided to try his luck in Hollywood and found his breakthrough role in 1966 on the ABC show The Green Hornet as the sidekick Kato. With his dynamic moves, he usually overshadowed his co-star Van Williams. Unable to find many decent roles in the United States, Lee hit the Hong Kong film industry and became a star with such movies as Fist of Fury and The Way of the Dragon, the latter of which he also wrote and directed. His signature film was the martial arts classic Enter the Dragon, which hit American theaters in August 1973, about a month after Lee died from brain edema in Hong Kong at the age of 32. Enter the Dragon proved to be a big part of his legacy as it went on to rake in over $300 million worldwide. John Ritter first gained fame as clumsy chef Jack Tripper on the mega-hit sitcom Three's Company. He would go on to star in plenty of other notable TV projects, including the miniseries adaptation of Stephen King's It and the ABC sitcom 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. He tried mightily to establish a movie career as well, but it didn't quite work out, give or take a problem child. That is, until he met Billy Bob Thornton on the set of Hearts of Fire, who cast Ritter against type as a troubled dollar store manager in the stark drama Sling Blade. The two teamed up again for the raunchy comedy Bad Santa. Opposite Thornton's boozy mall Santa, Ritter played the perpetually nervous mall manager.
Wait, no. You don't What? No.
The film grossed $60 million at the domestic box office and has gone on to be a perennial holiday favorite. It was released in November 2003, just 2 months after Ritter died at the age of 54 of a heart ailment after experiencing chest pain on the set of 8 Simple Rules. In the 70s and 80s, Jill Clayburgh was earning critical raves for portraying women in the midst of transition. She earned back-to-back Academy Award nominations in 1979 and 1980 for her work in the thoughtful, divorce-oriented dramas An Unmarried Woman and Starting Over. By the 2000s, she had shifted mainly to television as she added dignity and legitimacy to the likes of The Practice and Dirty Sexy Money. In 2010, she worked on what would be her final film, Bridesmaids. She wasn't particularly known for comedy, but she nevertheless managed to deliver some laughs as the mother of Kristen Wiig's Annie. Bridesmaids went on to earn $169 million at the domestic box office in 2011, making it one of the most popular comedies of the 20th century. It even earned a couple of Oscar nominations. Unfortunately, Clayburgh didn't get to see all that as she passed away from leukemia on November 5, 2010 at the age of 66. Robert Loggia put together a long career as the definitive type of character actor who makes you go, hey, it's that guy.
That's Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia.
He had credited roles in more than 200 films and TV series, dating back to a 1951 episode of the soap opera Search for Tomorrow. In the 80s, he seemed to be in just about everything, specializing as grizzled good guys, tough bad guys, and imposing bosses. He earned an Oscar nomination for his role as private detective Sam Ransom in the 1985 courtroom drama Jagged Edge, but he's likely best known for playing a toy company chief in 1988's Big, as well as General Gray in the 1996 blockbuster Independence Day. Loggia had completed filming his scenes as General Gray in the long-awaited sequel, Independence Day Resurgence, when he died in December 2015 at age 85. He'd been coping with Alzheimer's disease for 5 years. While not quite as big a hit as its predecessor, it still managed to gross a hefty $389 million worldwide. John Cazale boasts a perfect film resume. There isn't one commercial or critical blemish on it. In fact, every single movie that he appeared in was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, and all of them are widely regarded as classics and prime examples of the dark and gritty cinematic movement of the 70s. Cazale made his big screen debut as two-timing Fredo Corleone in The Godfather, a role he reprised in The Godfather Part 2.
Oh, no, that was nothing, Mike. Now, Mo didn't mean nothing by that. Sure, he flies off the handle once in a while, but Mo and me were good friends, right, Mo?
Cazale's 3 other Lifetime credits consist of Dog Day Afternoon, The Conversation, and The Deer Hunter. In March 1978, he died of cancer at age 42, several months before the release of The Deer Hunter, his final film. He'd already received his grim terminal diagnosis when filming began, and the studio wanted to replace him, as Cazale's insurance for the movie was prohibitively expensive. But his co-star Robert De Niro threatened to leave the production if that happened, and he footed the insurance bill himself. The film went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture and earned $49 million at the box office, a huge amount for a 3-hour-long drama about the Vietnam War. Phil Hartman is a legend in comedy circles. One of the greatest cast members in Saturday Night Live history, he played such memorable recurring characters as Frankenstein's monster, the anal retentive chef, and unfrozen caveman lawyer. He was such a reliably funny and quality comedic actor that his co-stars nicknamed him the Glue. He would go on to star in the NBC sitcom News Radio and voice two of the most memorable side characters on The Simpsons, sleazy lawyer Lionel Hutz and washed-up movie star Troy McClure. As far as his film career went, his roles were generally limited to cameos and supporting parts in high-profile comedies, such as So I Married an Axe Murderer and Jingle All the Way. He finally landed a big-screen leading role in 1998's Small Soldiers, a movie about action figures that spring to violent life. It grossed $71 million worldwide, but Hartman wasn't able to enjoy that success as it was released 2 months after his death. Tragically, he was killed at the hands of his wife, Bryn, who was struggling with mental illness and substance abuse. After shooting her husband, she turned the gun on herself and ended her own life. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please call or chat online with the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK 8255.